Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner LeBlanc, would you do the invocation?
All right.
Roll call first.
No.
Okay.
All right. Heavenly Father, fill us with your spirit and courage so that we might bring our talents and gifts to this important work. Open our minds to the task at hand, open our ears to each other, open our hearts to your will. We make this prayer in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll take roll call. And please note, we need to get the rest of the board's permission for Commissioner Becker to call in. She's on the line. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous.
All right. Commissioner LeBlanc present?
Commissioner Mazzata present.
Commissioner Gardner present.
Commissioner Burton present.
Commissioner Becker, you're present as well, right?
Thanks, Commissioner President, by phone. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this way.
You're welcome. All right, do we have any citizen participation that's not on the agenda? Okay. And do we have approval of the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to motion to approve the consent items on today's
Well,
agenda.
we've got to approve last month's agenda first.
Last month's minutes.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to motion to approve last month's
All right.
minutes.
And-
Through the chair, I think it's just a motion to adopt your agenda,
Okay,
correct?
Okay,
Okay.
Yes.
that's what I thought.
And then,
All right.
yes.
all
So,
right.
Okay.
I'm rusty, I didn't do this for 2 months.
So, yeah, so I would like to motion to accept the consent items on today's proposed
Just
agenda.
the
No,
agenda.
we're-
Just the agenda.
just the.
Just the agenda?
Just the agenda,
Yes.
right.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
I,
Thank you.
Right, and through the chair, I didn't hear a
Yeah,
second
we
to
need
that.
a
Can
second.
somebody,
Ah,
just for the record?
I second.
Okay, so you second, and then we
Thank
had a
you.
unanimous vote. So we got a motion, always a motion, and then a second, then we vote.
Can I get clarification on that? I just got set up.
Yes.
What
So,
was the motion?
Yeah, motion
Mazzata.
to accept the agenda for today.
Okay.
and it was seconded by Commissioner Burton.
And I would also like to note that we had the certification of taxable value dropped off in our book. There's blanks where the total taxes should be with the current year proposed in millage rate. So those are filled in on the sheets that we got, so that's being added to our book. So just basically a change in language, I'd just like to note.
Got it, for the record. Okay. Did you get that? So it was Commissioner Mazzato made a motion to adopt the agenda, and we have a second by Burton, and the committee voted unanimously to adopt the agenda, or
Okay.
the district, sorry.
And, next item is approval of the consent agenda, and it should be noted that there is an unfinished business for last month's agenda. Ms. Hodges added some response to Mr. Slavin's statements, and it's notated on here in red. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda for today.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Commissioner Becker?
Aye.
Aye, okay. It's unanimous, thank you. All right. Mr. Hawkins, you're up.
Oh, it's already on. Good evening, Chair and board members and all in attendance tonight. Robert Hawken, Leaf Consulting, the lobbyist for the Mosquito Control District. Somewhat apologize for my attire. I think this is the first time I've ever presented anywhere, board or otherwise, without a minimum of a sport coat on. But we just spent the last couple hours with State Representative Sam Greco and Dr. Rudy doing a tour of the facility, and it went very well. It was very thorough. He spent a lot of time. Loved the education center, and I couldn't have asked for a better tour, and very grateful that he was able to make time out of his busy schedule to join Meredith, my partner, and I up here. So here tonight to give a little bit of an update of what just happened during this legislative session. You know, this is a year that we started in March for a 60-day session. Finally, on June the 16th at around 10 o'clock or so, after 105 days of session, the legislature finally wrapped up their business, and the last 40 days of that or so were really budgetary in nature, and there really wasn't much of bills being passed or of that nature. But the district and the Mosquito Control Association had two priorities this year, and those of you that were over in Tallahassee during the session and went around and talked to the legislators, including Representative Greco, talked about what the priorities were, and the first priority was increasing the amount of mosquito control directors from 2 to 4, and permitting directors to stay on board even after their term was expired until somebody was named to replace them. That did pass, and that passed in the Ag Bill, Senate Bill 700. And then the other priority was embedded in the state budget, so that was part of what was done at the very end, and to preserve the $3.6 plus million funding for DAX, the mosquito control program. We asked for a 14% of the total tire tax, which actually would have been a little over $4 million this year. We didn't get that, but we did retain the $3.6 million in DAX for funding for the DAX mosquito program. Special districts in general, there were a lot of bills. There were bills relating to special districts, and there was a lot of talk about special districts and taxation overall. In fact, Representative Greco had the bill that would have repealed the requirement that all the special districts have to establish and publish the annual reports or goals that was passed the year before. He had a bill to do that. That bill did not pass. This year there were a little over 1,900 bills that were filed, 269 bills passed. That's about the norm. 13%, generally between 12 and 15% of bills actually pass. Of course, some bills get rolled into others, but that bill didn't go anywhere, and it's not that surprising since it just had passed the year before, and they're already trying to repeal part of it, and there really wasn't an outcry. One of the biggest issues during this session and ongoing and talk of is property tax, and the governor's ideas about property tax and maybe rolling back property tax. We've heard everything from getting rid of property tax altogether to paring it down, and so elimination, keep it the same, pare it down. The House has a special select committee on taxation and specifically property taxes, and the overview of what property taxes are, who benefits from them, what do they fund. That has met twice. The speaker has said during session that will be an ongoing committee. He expected it to meet throughout the summer. Now that hasn't. There's been no agenda that come out to announce any other meetings. Haven't really heard anything about that. I think by the time that they got done in middle of last month, that everybody needed to take a break, and I don't think anybody really wants to get together and have any sort of meeting whatsoever. But I do anticipate that by the end of August or so, we'll start to hear more of that drum roll, and more than likely, this select committee will be going throughout the state and having meetings. They may come over to Jacksonville and have a meeting, and if so, that would be a time where we would probably encourage, for us to be involved in a presentation to let people know, let this committee know exactly what we do and what the services that we provide. And if it lines up like that, we'll certainly be in touch to help facilitate something like that. There was a study in the tax package that passed at the last day of session. That the House insisted on. It was a little over $1 million to study, the effects of limiting property taxes and what that would do. Because right now people say, yeah, we're going to get rid of this, we're going to get rid of that. Well, no one really knows what the effects are. So the House and their wisdom said, well, let's do a study. Let's create this pot of money, and we'll go out there and we'll find some people to study exactly what this is. Well, the governor vetoed that study. So he didn't really say why, he just did. I do know that Tax Watch is an independent organization in Tallahassee that studies a lot of taxes and whatnot. They are studying, they're going to be doing a study on the effect of taxation and property taxes in the state. So we'll look for that. They're probably out doing that or as we speak, and I would imagine by the end of the year they'll have a study. Whether the type of reception that gets, we'll just wait and see. I'm sure that the Florida Chamber is going to be studying this. Associated Industries of Florida. There's a lot of talk and a lot of interested people. The Mosquito Control District Association, Special Districts Association. Obviously, there's a lot of people that are very interested in property taxes in general and how it effectuates, their entities. So we'll be involved with that. This year, committee meetings start in October. We're going into the year of an even year next year, where our legislative session will start in early January, 60 days. And so whether the legislature and particularly the legislators themselves want to get back together anytime soon, they're going to have to, because that first week of October, they will be back in Tallahassee conducting committee meetings. Bills will soon start to flow.
Yes, Mr. Hawkins, I believe that we have you contracted until the end of this fiscal year. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
And then, okay, so I recommend, I don't know how to bring this up. Obviously, it's not going to be a motion for this agenda, but just to get it on everybody's mind to start thinking about renegotiating or signing him again, for this company again for, especially with the early start in January, probably want to get moving on that and get everything lined up if you guys are interested.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and of course, we're very interested in continuing our relationship with the district, and that's a good segue to let you know also that it was announced about a month ago that Meredith and I are merging our firm in with another firm, Flirting Partners. They're a long old line firm. We're bringing our book of business and folded it in. We're starting that process. We haven't officially moved over there yet, but by that time we will. There are no conflicts as far as what the district has and the current clients of Floridian Partners. And really it gives us, there's 8 partners already over there. Meredith and I will join. We have coverage in Tampa and Miami, where we have lobbyists that live all over, and it's more bodies to help with what we need here and everywhere else. So it just adds, it's more comfort and another layer of help that will be very advantageous for all of our clients.
Yes,
and vice versa, us to them. So I appreciate you saying that, and it was good to be able to announce that we're going to be moving in that direction with them.
Well, you guys did a great job. I don't know if I told you guys, but I think you guys are great. So
I
you guys did a great
appreciate
job.
that. I appreciate you coming over to Tallahassee. Commissioner Becker, we're going to miss you on the phone. It was great to interact with you over the last few years, and now that, Chairperson Gardner's back in the middle seat again, and we get to know Commissioner Burton and get to see everyone else, and we really do appreciate and don't take it lightly what we do and what we can do for you. And, you know, anytime that we come over here and do this tour and see the reaction by the people that take this tour and just solidifies in our mind what we, you know, what the good that you're doing here and Dr. Rudy's doing here. You know, we like being part of things like that. So, yeah, in fact, when we do merge in with a new firm, we'll probably bring one or two of the other associates or other members when they're here to take the tour. So when they're in the halls of Tallahassee, they know exactly what this is all about. And because it's a, you know, it's a good thing and you're doing good work here. So with that, Chair, I'll entertain any other questions. And
Anybody else have questions or comments for Mr. Hawkins? We
Thank
appreciate,
you.
Commissioner Becker, go ahead.
Sorry. Hi, Mr. Hawkins, can you hear me okay?
I can.
I just want to say thank you so much for your service. It has been invaluable to our district, and I really think you saved us, as I've said many times. And so I'm just very thankful for your hard work. And I want to add for that committee that it was a little bit hit and miss for me hearing it, but I think you were saying that they're going to have a committee that's going to look into the property tax situation. And if so, I would try to just like give a broad band of maybe just leaving public health and safety out of that conversation entirely, and that could cover mosquito control, police, firemen, and then, you know, other things like garbage and whatever else people have in their property taxes. That could be a different story. But since we know how vital these services are, like maybe that would be a kind of a way that they could move it. I don't know. I would also point to the Baltimore report that Governor DeSantis had that showed how invaluable mosquito control is, and that no other cities and counties can take over these special districts. So that would add to taxpayers' money if we tried to take over districts as well. And then lastly, I've been hearing some chatter, so this is just chatter stuff, but the alligator Alcatraz situation and mosquitoes is pretty bad, and I didn't know if maybe there's any talk about that you've heard of.
Well, thank you for the questions, and to do the answer the former questions first, or statements. Those are two good points to bring up, both the study and to lump, if you will, what we do in with first responders and other essential need-based entities. I think is a very good point, something that we can use. And to elaborate a little bit about that, it's a House committee, and they're going to study all facets of taxation and property taxes and property taxation. So we'll have plenty of time to get in there, and they'll come up with a report, I'm sure. And then, of course, they'll have to go through the legislature and see what the legislature wants to do. Many times on these big committees like this, and there are a lot of people in this committee, they meet and they do a report, and then they come to the legislature, and then, you know, they're on to the next thing. And, you know, this is a big issue. I don't know if they're really going to get off this issue as far as going on to the next thing, but I will not stress too much on what is talked about in these initial meetings in the select committee that's going to be meeting throughout the state, and take it as gospel, I guess is what I was going to get at. You know, I mean, I think that's where we're at.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I have a couple questions.
Yes,
comments.
yes,
Thank
Dr.
you. One question, you knew that federal government is cutting a lot, especially female, and not only research. So have you heard anything, our state legislation, how can we deal with the female situation? With the hurricane, a few years after hurricane, we get a 75% reimbursed from FEMA. But currently, it seems difficult to get from a federal funding. So the state I don't know, any appropriation, any legislation talking about this?
Yeah, good question. So there wasn't a specific appropriation on that, but I do know that the legislature and the governor both agreed to put extra money in a rainy day fund this year, because of the threat that the federal government cuts specifically for FEMA, and knowing that someday that there may not, I mean, I'm not gonna say there may not be a FEMA, but you never know, right? And what happens with DOGE and what happens that trickles down, that the policymakers in Tallahassee have took it upon themselves to make sure that if a disaster happens and FEMA's not there, or FEMA's not there, to your point, like they have been in the past, that Floridians won't go without. And so there is extra money put into a bucket for that. In fact, some of that money is being used for the Alligator Alcatraz, I'm not gonna say, and that's going on, right? So but part of that money that they set aside is being used for that, but they put an awful lot of money toward that, and in anticipation of any future federal cuts.
My second question, we just talking about the representative. Why the state government legislation allow the state government university system have OPS, operation as a personal service? They can work year by year without benefits, without health insurance or anything, just work by hour. Why not for our mosquito control? We are still government. They use a different level. We have to cannot over 6 months. If you work over 6 months, you have to pay retirement, health insurance, everything like a full time. What's the difference? Anything can you figure out help us? We face a situation. Some people we want it, but it's some kind of limitation full time. We only pay the 6 months, let it go, and come back 6 months again. If we can full time, like a state government called OPS option, as with that benefit, we can keep it. Because some money is grant money. We just have cannot pay benefits, just pay the wages.
Yeah, and that was the first I had heard of that through the chair. Yep. That's the first time I had heard of that earlier today, and Meredith and I spoke afterwards, and we're going to follow back up with representatives and others, and we'll go to the the association and talk to the members of the Chris Lyon, the lobbyists for the association, and we'll kick that around a little bit and see, and if we can get this representative or others to look at the inequity of just what you're talking about with regards to OPS, then that's how the conversation starts. That's how ideas start. That's how then a bill gets filed, and that's how you get the energy and the synergy in Tallahassee to get something done. It doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all, but I think it's certainly a valid point, something that we need to address, and we'll be happy to look at that next fall, and move through the committee process, or at least start the conversation, so someday we can address that inequity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Yes.
All right, Mrs. Rivera.
Good afternoon. Sheila Rivera, Human Resources Generalist. I am here to present on behalf of MGT the results of the preliminary assessment that they conducted over all of our HR processes. Please feel free to ask me questions as I go along. So MGT conducted a preliminary human resources assessment for the district as the first task under their ongoing HR consulting engagement. The purpose of this assessment was to evaluate the effectiveness of the district's current HR operations and identify key areas requiring improvement to support a more efficient, equitable, and strategically aligned workplace. This review was intended to guide us in prioritizing our future HR initiatives and inform areas where deeper support or further analysis may be beneficial. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that our district's internal practices support our broader mission to protect public health and serve the community. So the areas that they looked at during this assessment were our recruitment processes, our employee onboarding, our employee relations, performance management or our evaluation system, and our workflow processes. So they divided their study into 5 steps. First, they gathered data and internal documents. They gave me access to this shared drive, and Heather and I uploaded all the documents that they wanted to see because they're not here, so they need to get access to all of our documents to see what we're doing. So some of the documents that we uploaded were job descriptions, our onboarding procedures, evaluation templates, compensation materials, and our HR policies. After they received the documents, they conducted interviews with some of the staff, including management, and they also conducted a survey. They sent out a survey for staff, and then they sent out a survey for management to complete. Participation in the survey was voluntary, and it was anonymous. And 22 of our employees completed it, in addition to 5 of our managers. Yes. So after that, they completed what they referred to as a SWOT analysis, and that just means that they evaluated the district's strengths when it comes to HR, our weaknesses, opportunities for improvement, and threats. And then threats regarding more things that are, legal based that we can get in trouble for. Then they documented their findings, and they basically drafted this report with their preliminary recommendations. We had a meeting with management to discuss it, and then the final step is presenting the report, which I'm doing right now. So what did they find? They found some positive aspects of what we're doing. In the positives, we have that there's a widespread appreciation for our flexible work schedules, generous paid time off policies, which, they can vary depending on tenure between 3.07 hours and 9.23 hours per pay period, depending on the employee's tenure. They also found that there is strong collaboration and camaraderie amongst the employees here at the district, and that there is a shared sense of pride in AMCD's mission and our public health mission. They found that employees have autonomy and trust in managing their daily responsibilities, meaning that they are not being micromanaged, but they are being empowered to do their work to the best of their abilities. They also found that our employees value our benefits packages, in particular our health savings account contributions and our continuing education benefits. So those are all the things that our employees said that they are very grateful for, and the things that they like about working here. The areas of concern that they found: number 1, compensation. They said that some employees thought that our compensation was inequitable and inconsistent. They also found that when it comes to recruiting and onboarding, there is a lack of structured process in hiring and onboarding that can cause some uncertainty. In training and development, it says some of our training was outdated, And performance, something that has been a point of discussion in the past, is that our performance evaluations are not really tied to compensation. Our employees want to be compensated if they perform above average. They want to get pay raises for that. And they also found that leadership can sometimes be a little bit disengaged or reactive, and our communication can be better between the leadership and the rest of the workforce. So we have some strategies that we are discussing to address all of those points of concerns, in addition to the work that we've been doing so far. So what do they recommend that we do? First, they recommend that we conduct a market-based classification and compensation study, which Dr. Shu is going to bring in later in the meeting. Compensation study is something that is done not in-house, is done externally by another firm, and they basically will look at if our pay is competitive in the market that we are on. They also want us to document and communicate our compensation strategy. So this comes down to updating our pay plan and make sure that all of our employees have easy access to the pay plan and they know how much they're supposed to be getting. And then to perform a pay equity analysis, which is looking at what the employees are making here within our departments, within our different divisions. They also recommend that we standardize our hiring protocols and develop a formal orientation program. In the training and development, they recommend that we provide more SOPs and train our employees to generate SOPs. Implement a structured development program for supervisors and managers. So basically looking into career progression, not just for our entry-level positions, but also our managers, talking to them about where their careers are headed. And that we align our interns and our seasonal staff with the supervisory capacity. They felt like interns are coming in, and not in a structured way, so they wanted to make it more streamlined, more organized, so that we can be prepared to receive them and train them properly. For performance evaluations, they recommend that we redesign our evaluation tools and ensure that when we're doing evaluations, there's a one-on-one meeting that is happening, that the employees are not just being emailed their evaluation or something like that. And that we establish some sort of formal recognition programs for our employees. They want to receive some kind of award or something like that. As far as the organizational culture, they recommended that we do a yearly employee survey, just like the one that they completed, and that we find ways to strengthen our internal communication channels and update and communicate our revised policies that we have been working on. As they're not good if they sit in a shelf. We need to make sure that the employees have access to them. And in conclusion, with a focus in compensation, communication, and development, we can foster a workplace culture where employees feel valued and supported and motivated to continue to work here. The assessment, like I mentioned, they found both strengths and areas of improvement that we need to look at. The report reveals a workforce that is committed to the organization mission, but is hampered by structural and cultural obstacles. Implementing prioritized recommendations will address the concerns raised by both the staff and management and will help maintain the organization's industry leadership standards. Dr. Shu and I will say that we are very committed to becoming, not just the best in the business of mosquito control, but that we also become like the go-to partner for other industries in HR as well. This is something that we're starting, to look at and to build almost from the ground up, and we want to make sure that we get it right. So we are committed to do that. Our employees, we know that they love working here. And we are going to capitalize on that and build upon that sentiment. Any questions?
I think we
Can I do whatever?
yes, go ahead, Commissioner Becker.
Thank you. Ms. Rivera, first of all, thank you for the presentation, and for being here. I know that this, HR has been something that I've been really pushing for the last 6 years, and I'm glad that we've got the survey now that we can see. It kind of cemented some of my thoughts and concerns that we had at the district. And so I would say to the board to really pay attention to that survey and really read through it. And it's pretty obvious that it just takes a few little tweaks of things like our pay plan, which I complain about all the time. You know, if we can fix that, fix our raises, I think we'll be able to get a better employee morale there. I'd also like to stress just to everyone, and especially Dr. Shu and Assistant Director Dr. Qualls, like, we can't just let the surveys read it and not do anything about it. Like, we have to do stuff to fix what's wrong. And I think just as a district, kind of like I said last month, we've gone from almost like a small business because we have like 20 people, but we're growing exponentially daily. And so we have to strive to keep going ahead. Something that the board could do maybe is maybe have like an employee of the month where the employees vote on who it is and then the board can present a plaque. I noticed in the report they talked about, you know, psychological contract, and that's something that I've spoken on many times. And I can forward any material to learn more about that. And then, Ms. Sheila, do you know, just like an estimate off the top of your head, the compensation, when we were talking about our compensation, that it's not as great, but our benefits are so good. So is there a way that we can show how much is the benefits the employees are getting when they start? I mean, I think it kind of shows that, but maybe just a nice general number, like this is how much you're going to get paid, and you're also going to receive, I don't know, $500 in this every month. So it's really like you're making this, or I don't know, something like that.
Yes.
Would be good.
Yes, so we can try to develop, work in partnership with our insurance brokers to develop a benefits guide that would display that. Also, I am working with partnering with the Frontier people and the database implementation to build a branch off of there that has a human resources information system where employees can log into their employee dashboard and they are able to see their benefits, their leave balances, and they're able to access all of those documents, because I think part of what we struggle is that we offer all these great things like this education benefits and all of that, but we're not bragging about it. We're not letting all the employees know, hey, look how much we are investing in you. So I think simple little tools like a brochure, a newsletter, a welcome package for our new hires would definitely improve upon that. And those are all things that are very, very doable.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shields, all your work, and I can't wait to see what you all produce in the future.
Thank you. Any other questions?
What is the turnover rate year to year?
We don't I don't know.
We with the India River study, very, very low, maybe 1 or 2.
'Cause I saw
It's
where
about
they,
40, 30, correct, with 38 full-time, maybe 1 or 2, not really, sometimes very stable.
so how long have you,
I've been here since March.
so not very long.
Not
So
very.
this
She changed a lot, careful,
this is a nice wealth package for you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
We
so your plans for evaluations too, I mean,
Yes.
I'm assuming there wasn't a whole lot. If you're emailing, yeah, you get a 3% raise and that's,
Yeah, we have to change our evaluation. We really get into the nitty gritty of changing the evaluation form making sure that those meetings are conducted in person. Obviously, I would participate in all of them. Starts with training with the managers.
Because you could even do a survey to them right now and say, what are 3 things that'll make your job easier that we can do?
Right, we can do any kind of survey, yes.
I mean, just hand around a piece of paper.
Yeah,
Or I saw in there, what was it, the shadowing?
yes,
You could pay somebody, employee of the month, extra.
yes.
So when you hire in that department, they shadow them.
Yeah. So part of the like I said, we get a lot of interns. We don't do a ton of hiring. Since I've been here, I've hired 7 seasonal employees and 1 seasonal custodian, which is a lot in a couple of months. But we do get a ton of interns that come in and out. So maybe doing like a mentorship program or a buddy system that involves some kind of incentive for the employee that's taking the time to train those
Yeah,
people would definitely be very beneficial for us.
Go ahead, Mr. Mazzotti.
I was just gonna ask, do we have any plans for, because there's a couple things that I'm just a little concerned about with these bar graphs in here when they did the
Sure.
survey. So for supervisor and manager training,
Uh-huh.
there are 5 total people.
Uh-huh.
3 of them are either unsatisfied or very unsatisfied.
Yes.
1 was unsure,
Uh-huh.
and only 1 person was satisfied. So what, do we have any ideas, and when, and if not, when will we have some kind of
So
plan or something written down to present, like, this is what we're gonna do?
Sure. For the manager training, so we're starting already. We are going to have our management team meeting next week. So we're going to start with the first training is going to be the sexual harassment training specific for managers. We're going to do at that training. So we thought that would be a good opportunity where all the managers have already taken the time out of the day to meet together so that we can every management meeting tackle a topic for them. So
good.
that we're going to start doing that. I can talk a little bit about some of the things that we are already, if you are interested in hearing about that,
Sure.
if I can find my page. And this is very recent, like I said, I just started in March. The survey was conducted in May. So what I said was this really solidified that we are heading in the right direction because the same areas of concern that they found were the same ones that I found when I got here, and this provides us a roadmap of what is this the thing that we're supposed to be focusing on. So it's going to be very helpful. We've implemented an applicant tracking system so that managers can see when the people are coming, when are the employees, especially the seasonals, when are they starting, when are they leaving, what is their schedule, all that kind of thing. We updated our employment application and our volunteer application and started a process for accepting volunteers for the DVAC. We standardized how we do interviews and interview questions and how we evaluate candidates during the interview processes. We're working on our job descriptions, which you are seeing on your books when you come to the meetings. So far, everyone has had a job description in there for you to review. We've been working very hard with the policies. So we've already worked on the travel policy, the public records policy, the hiring and employment policy. We got some new training materials for our employees for the fire safety training, the sexual harassment training, discrimination, drug and alcohol, and diversity. We presented brand new material this year for that, which they were very happy because they were kind of tired of seeing the same PowerPoints year after year, so they were very grateful. And we started establishing some procedures to implement like performance improvement plans for employees who are struggling. So we're formalizing that. Now that you have a person here, they're starting to knock on the door and those needs are starting to come up and we're tackling them as we go. And finally, just having that open communication of me being a bridge between the workforce and management, I feel like it's really taken off, especially in the last month. And Dr. Shu has been so receptive to my input, and he has thought out my input as well. So I just feel like we're really churning. So I just want you to know that all of this did not come as a surprise, and although some of the things here could be a little bit hard to swallow, we wanted to know what our employees thought, and we want to know what their priorities are and what they're concerned about, and those are the ones that we want to fix.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Rivera.
Any other questions?
Yeah, are there any other questions? I'd like to see a report by you every board meeting. I think it's easy to let things fall by the wayside if we're not looking at it.
Yes.
So I'd like to put it on the agenda to have a report by Ms. Rivera every month. Okay.
Thank you.
I'd
Yeah.
like to second that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, we are lucky to have her since work a little bit with 3 months, improve a lot, learn a lot from her. Because I'm not an HR guy, I'm a mosquito guy. Yeah. So that we have almost 75 years on the first time have HR. Because last 3 years our program grew. We were always 23 employee, 25, I moved to here 27. The last 3 years, because the program increased, now that we have going to October, we have 43 full-time, then plus intern, like 20 intern. It's really over 50, 60 people, lots of people. So really it was worth it. She is a best helper. We are very happy, and anything that can move forward. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We're grateful. We're
Appreciate her work. Yeah,
Yes.
I really thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
You're
it.
doing a great job, Ms. Schiller. Thank you.
Excellent.
One more question?
Ma'am, when you do get your booklet and everything written out, do you plan on having any legal look at it to see if there's any loopholes that you may have missed, or?
Yes, we are. We just talked about it, particularly when it comes to our policies.
Yeah.
Ms. Hodges is all over that.
All right. Thank you so much.
So just for clarification, we have a motion and we have a second.
Okay.
Who was that for the?
I
Yeah.
made the motion to have a monthly report from the HR representative.
And Commissioner Becker seconded it.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
I,
You seconded, and it's unanimous. Thank you. Dr. Shu?
Thank you. Yeah, about worker composition, the composition salary, we always not a surprise, not only our organization, always some candidates happy about their salary complaint. That's human nature, yeah, always that's happening everywhere. So the AMCD had a former HR director, Mrs. Susan Maris. She was spent 2 weeks in our organization. She from Lee County mosquito control district. Our board asked her, invited her come here, study. She compared with similar size mosquito control program, how they pay for the employee, or compare local county government, similar job, how they pay them, because our government, school board, city of St. Augustine, she did a very good, developed big book, job description in March. Then she first time, she recommended our board adopt the AMCD pay plan, pay policy. That's the first time. It was 2015. It was a 10 grade, depending the education, job description, have different level. Also 10 step. Each step is 3 years, automatically increase. So that's a very, everybody happy. We good for 5, 6 years. So then that some kind of issue happen. You know, some people work here, the maximum is 30 years. So some people work here almost 35, 36 years. We cannot block. So it's some kind of issue, get a license, 50 cents more, or some get a promoting from this level, low level to high level, how to jump the grade. So that's confusing. So that's kind. Then the way bought is 2021, invited another director. Susan Maris left Lee County. Then the other director, HR director, Jack Small. She's coming here twice, interview employee, job description, make a comparison. She make a recommendation again, little bit change. Then after change the situation, she 2022 January she gave a recommendation. I look at it. So that's interesting, her recommendation salary range lower than we paid, what we paid for employer. I said, that's different. The reason is that 2021, during COVID, our board gave everybody across the board, no matter what's your position, everybody $300 raise per month. That's 3,600 for everybody. So that's a salary totally more than her recommendation. So we didn't take it. So the salary we still try to talking have a high art side study and really marketing the job, marketing our salary situation. We really need a good employer. So that's the reason I like the HR recommendation. So that we knew that. So they can, yesterday I received HR like other proposal. Second, that's the next step. Ask about $18,700 something in your table. That's a page number, that's one on the table. Because I received it later yesterday. Page 19. Page 19, the proposal $18,720 for 16 weeks study. Page 19. So the study take time about
Page not, what are you in, Don?
page 19 on the table, that's a proposal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called a classification and the composition study. That's our HR company on the table. Page 19. That's a major. Other was the same with other proposals, same they introduced it. They are very strong team, or the very good. Look at the background. They did a composition study for many organizations, including citrus and mosquito control special district. 3 years ago, we are part of that. So they did the work. They did excellent work. So my personal recommended board approval that they continue pay $18,700, $18,720 for the composition study. Then bring back to board. Then we can discussion change our pay plan, update our pay plan, and pay policy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shu.
Page 19.
Chair,
Yes.
I just want to say on that page 19, on the draft, it said that we could remove 1.5 out of there. Remove item B off of 1.5, which is $2,925. I would recommend you keep that in.
The employee reviews, interviews?
Yes.
Okay.
So through the chair, if I can, if you make a motion to approve moving forward with this classification and compensation study, just keep in mind, there's an existing contract with this HR firm with the maximum indebtedness of $30,000. $20,000 of the current contract was used to produce a report that Ms. Rivera gave, but can you include in the motion amending the contract to increase the maximum indebtedness to include the specific task order when whoever gets ready to make a motion? So it would be approving, moving forward with the classification and compensation study, as well as the district attorney making an amendment to the existing contract to increase that maximum indebtedness amount.
Okay, yeah, I'll like
Make
to,
that motion?
sure, I'll try. I'd like to motion for the classification and compensation study to be amended in the future to increase the amount allotted for that.
Correct. So basically, the
Was that right?
commissioners, yeah, basically is a motion authorizing the classification and compensation study as presented in the amount of $18,720, and to direct the district attorney to amend the existing contract to
Right.
increase it by this amount. Yes.
Okay.
That's basically what he said.
Okay. All right. I'll second that. Okay. All in favor? Commissioner? Aye. Okay, that's unanimous.
All right, so just for clarification, the motion is is authorizing the classification and compensation study to be conducted as presented in the board book, and authorizing the district attorney to amend the contract for the additional monetary amount.
Yeah, 18,000.
Yes.
Good enough.
And it was motion by Gardner,
Mazzado, yeah.
And the second, yeah.
All right. Dr. Shu,
Thank you.
talk to us about trim.
Training, yeah. It's every year, we have to deal with this. The rate. Rate review, oh, thank you, yeah. So there's every year same procedure. So the choose young method called training. So and the method rate, how to calculation condition. Today you receive that update of the form. So that terminology, product treatment is a complex of incorporated tax assessment for local tax authority like our board. So in Xinjiang County, we have 16 something tax authority, including airport, or school board, and everything. For our specific procedure, we propose the medical rate. The treatment act started in 1980. This is the road of Florida legislation that passed law started this one. We have to follow this, yeah. So the key complaint requirement, first you need a notice. So you treatment, you collect people tax, you have to new there. Second, you have to throw 2 public hearing. Every year, September, we have first public hearing, then finally public hearing. And the rollback rate. Rollback rate means previous year, the current year, our tax rate, tax amount, match how much is the millage rate. So we have the in the form of calculation. Or some forms, deadline, and the compliance certification. They have very detailed schedule to follow. So the treatment timetable by July 1st, usually we get June 28, 29. So the property appraiser that from the county, property appraiser set it to the tax the value. That's only from the desk that called that DR 420. That means in the counting, whole property, how much value, then give you us, we can decide how much we set up tax millage rate to collect the money. Same as the last 3 years, property increase. So the tax base increase, value increase. Well, number one, value increase. Number two, more house build house, development. Sometimes good for us, yeah. So by August 4th, so within 35 days, we receive the certification value, the DR 420. So tax authority include our board must inform the property appraiser what's our AMCD proposed millage rate. Also, what's the millage for the current year and next year. Also, the rural back, and also have to give the date when we're going to public hearing. What's the time? So the meeting place will hold tentative millage rate budget hearing. So that's in mid of August. Everybody, if you're homeowner, everybody receive from a property tax, the property officer receive one letter. Your property current value, marketing value, and your proposed tax. Each agency, generally from the county government, mosquito control, will have the public hearing. So what's the proposed millage rate? So the time, location. So that's the basic requirement. Then people receive this, they can schedule coming to your license. The treatment timetable, tax authority should hold a public hearing on tentative budget, tentative proposed millage rate. So our proposed schedule you just passed, thank you, on the consent agenda should be September 11 at 5:30 p.m. The law requires you have to after 5 p.m. Only from Monday to Saturday, but no Sunday. So that's the first public hearing with our schedule. We have to publish because we receive later. Also, we need to publish website and local newspaper. that more people knew what's going on. So tax authority should hold a public hearing on the final millage rate. Final millage rate on the budget here, we schedule September 25th. So after the 97 to 100 days. So that's why we 5:30. So we have a hearing. So that's a hearing situation. We cannot hold the meeting, public hearing in the same day with the school board or the county government. With others, okay, but that's one cannot same day hold because the more people have the opportunity to join different year. So that's basically that information. So after the hearing, everything, board need a resolution, two resolutions. One, adopt the final millage rate. Second resolution, adopt the budget. That's our fiscal year start October 1st. That's a basic timeline. So what's the millage rate? The millage rate, that's what we're talking about. That's what the millage marks the millage rate and millage rate calculation. Local government must conform to maximum millage rate. The law has a request, you cannot over limitation. For mosquito control, last year law passed, cannot over one millage rate, one. Millage rate is a value per 1,000 value, your house value. That's it. So that's the situation. You have to throw a majority vote, a two-thirds vote, or unanimous vote, so you can set a millage rate. Like later, we have to start a vote, give some vote on millage rate, tentative millage rate. So terminology millage rate, the tax rate is definitely the dollar assessment for each 1,000 of value. Formulation, the formulation tax value divide 1,000 and multiply proposed millage rate. That's the property tax owner. Such as the value, your house value, $200,000. Then you divide 1,000 equal to $200. Then you multiply our millage rate, 0.16 equal $32. That's $32, that's the house value, and they pay $32 whole year for mosquito control. That depends on your house value. So the current in our county is counting property price value much less than marketing value. Such as your property value, maybe counting give you $200,000 something, maybe marketing like 400, 300 for something. So that's what depend on counting the value, give you the report. So that keep this. In Florida, we have a home exam. Each home, your homeowner have a $50,000 home exam in Florida deductible. Also occurred there last year, this year still passed last law Florida, like military, senior, so the home exam increased. Some increased to $90,000, some increased close to $100,000. So there are different situations, lots of exam, or fire, rescue, some kind of increase. Then $200,000 divide, take the $50,000 exam off, $150,000, that's for your basic tax for mosquito control. So then you can use $150,000 divided 1,000 equal $150. Then multiply our millage rate 0.1, that's equal $24 per year pay for mosquito control. That's basically we collect here, the situation. The training hearing request just talking about it only Monday, Friday, mostly after 5 p.m. People after work can join if they have any comments are coming. It's any Saturday, but it never be Sunday. So that's no any other tax authority in the county hold hearing same day with the school board and the county government. So final hearing, the must within 15 days after the tentative millage rate adoption. So this is the hearing information. There's lots of requests. You have to publish it. General public, during the hearing, the millage hearing, you have to let our public speaking. So they can use the opportunity, ask a question before we make a resolution, approve the resolution. The governing body, the our commissioner, must adopt the tentative final millage rate before adopt the tentative budget. Approve millage rate first, then approve budget for second. That's the procedure. So that's a treatment within 3 days after approval. So we have to submit the SCAD, that's our job. Submit the resolution, two resolution, give to our county property appraisal officer. But I knew that's a mosquito control, next year we collect it. That's our managed rate. They also deliver to the tax collector officer, so they can use going up. So after this, we have to give it to the Department of Revenue instead, they control all revenue calls the situation, the inspection. So that's the treatment package submission. So we finish our end of September or before the October 25th. We have given them all the information to the state. Luckily, our CFO, Scott, every year, first give the sample, newspaper publish resolution, manage everything proposal, give it to them. That can give a correction, quick get it back. So we're lucky that everything, after they review, they give some feedback, that finally they accept. That's the package submission, the procedure. So what's the deadline for the AMCD or Department of Agriculture? Department of Agriculture is like a headquarters of our mosquito control. So they have requested, Department of Agriculture requested July 15th, this is the next week. So we have to give their work plan budget. That's the reason in their board book. So they have their form. Scott have the transfer from our draft budget to Department of Agriculture form. After the approval, the chairperson need to sign. Then we quickly scanning before 15, let the approval come get it back to Department of Agriculture. Also, work plan narrative. Work plan narrative means integrated mosquito management plan. So what kind of chemical you plan to use? So equipment, larva size, dollar size, some kind of issue, trap, how many, the very basic information that I wanted to know deadline about this. Then the September 30, we have finally public hearing September 25th. September 30 deadline for certified budget. We have the board approval, then submitted to the Department of Agriculture. So that's the AMCD, that's July 10th, today, decided tentative remedial rate. Then send it to the county president Monday quickly. September 11, we have a first public hearing. September 25th, we have finally the public hearing. So that by before October 25th, we give all package to Department of Revenue. So their inspections, this whole procedure. Thank you. Any question, anything? Hopefully,
Does anybody have
Yes,
questions for Dr. Shu?
okay, we can continue second one.
Chair,
Yeah.
Commissioner Beck, go ahead.
I'd just like to thank Dr. Shu. This is a great presentation, and especially it's good for all of us to know, but especially for the new people. So thank you for giving that.
Yes.
Thank you.
So now do we need a proposal on,
Yes.
to approve the millage rate for the coming year at .16?
Yes.
Yes.
Only one thing need to consider. We currently today make a decision, the tentative millage rate. With good with finally the public hearing, maybe we're going to down, but difficult is going to up. So that's usually tentative millage rate a little bit high, then going to finally the public hearing, first the hearing, final hearing, maybe some public complaint, maybe what to say. Also, end of next month, August, because our fiscal year from October 1st to September 30. End of August, our new concrete number, how much money we can carry over from October 1st. Look at current situation, where financial very good situation. We estimate occurred carry over around $10 million from October 1st. Maybe look at the situation, when we find the public hearing, if the number exactly correct, then we may consider about going to roll back. That's about $300,000-$400,000 reduce, right, less collection. But the current situation, we're talking about it before with Commissioner TG, Commissioner Bird, So the federally cutting grant. NSF cutting 50% of grant, the budget here. NIH cutting 40% of grant. Even CDC cutting. So we are, every year, we get a grant about $500,000 from different federal government collaboration industry. We have no idea next year what's happening. So that's why we need to consider about this. Second concern about the current governor try to abolish, reduce property tax. If it happens, currently as a representative of the community started. But you never know what's going on. But not to abolish it, but definitely going to reduce. So we need to consider about it. I do recommend board keep 0.16 right now. Then we can look at what's happening. Then we can go to, if too much money, people complain, we can go into a little bit reduce in finding public hiring. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion then.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the millage rate of 0.16.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Just to be sure, did we say that we're on new business number 2? Or are we still on his PowerPoint? Because we have to say this is new
I don't
business
think
number
we
2.
should.
Business number 2.
This is new business number 2.
Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Okay. So did you get Becker's vote? I think I heard the 4 of you. Did Becker
Yeah.
vote for that?
You
Okay.
voted in favor, Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Yes. So it was unanimous. Dr. Shu?
Thank you.
The DAX work plan.
Okay. Yeah, tax work plan budget. That's the way from the last month you receive from May, June, our budget book draft, justification, everything. Because tax request their formulation form. So the Scott has to transfer to Department of Agriculture the standard form. Because also scanning that in the statistical how they state. So that's why we still have a couple months. If you have any question, you have any suggestion, we can still discussion before public hearing. So we still have time. But today, I really recommend about approve the tax work plan budget. That's their request. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the DAX work plan budget?
Well, if these numbers are accurate, I will motion to approve the DAX work plan budget.
Okay. I will second
I
that.
do have a comment.
Yes, Commissioner Becker, go ahead.
Dr. Shu, because of the situation with the state, and one of the recommendations they had was that we collect and dispose of more tires. So on number 34.10, we have late tires for 5,000. Should we maybe make that number higher so we can collect more tires, or is that number higher than our older number?
Yeah, this number is based on last many years, how much we really spend budget. We can, anytime if it happen, we can go into budget amendment. Also, 1 year, state gave $10,000 for the used tire collection, it's different, yeah. The number should be okay.
Did that answer your question, Commissioner Becker? Okay.
Yes, and then the last one was on number 62, buildings, for $1 million. What is that for? Is that the rest of the SID building, or is that for the new, metal
Storage
building for all the storage?
62?
62, yeah.
62, yeah, under capital outlay.
Yes, that's for that storage building.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion.
And you seconded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor? Commissioner Becker, are you in favor? Aye, okay. Unanimous.
The chair.
Who's the second? It was
I think it was the chair.
Chair.
Okay. Dr. Shi,
Report.
you have a report?
Thank you. Yeah, it's, since last week, we have more rain. Before last week, dry the situation. I believe mosquito population will be happening after a couple of days, next week start to pick up. Yeah. So it was interesting for me, work many years mosquito control, couldn't understand. This year, springtime, dry, not many mosquito. The interesting, we have one West Nile virus human case. But this human case is not called a symptom, no symptom. And he went to just blood donation. By law, the donation blood have to screen West Nile test positive. Then that he didn't travel, didn't anything. This area. Then we increase the surveillance, put a trap, and increase cooperation with the Department of Health. So now our county in the Florida, first case, it's their county, human case. No matter what's happening. He didn't show any symptom yet. Just a blood donation tested positive. So far, we are sent to chicken, nothing. We every Monday, weekly breed the chicken, no any positive. So that's, I really don't understand. I try to figure out how can we figure out what's the reason, what's the area, what's happening. The area around the 016 and 208, the most new construction area. I'm not to give subdivision name, but basically there. We increase the treatment here, but this is almost a couple of weeks, seems okay. So that's the Western area situation. We keep going on, keep moving on, keep surveillance, increase surveillance, look at what's happening. So other thing that pesticides and equipment here, calibration, everything ready. We started some kind of URV supply already. And the other thing, more people complain air nuts. It's very difficult to control the air nuts. It's belong to our field? No. With mosquito control, mosquito-borne disease. Also, some area include blind mosquito, carnominal major from a retention pond. Yeah, I said it's not that's belong to pest control. But we are entomologists, so we're here, we are mosquito control. We try to our best to help. But we cannot take care of everything there. We have our major job. The current dry, some people calling, we don't reject them. Just going to there. Look, yesterday I went to their 16, talking to people, try to help them get information how to make a trap, use eggs, collect, kill the air nuts or something, help them. But we are in the field, easy to find information, try to help people. I know some people are very angry, say mosquito control. That's not a mosquito. After explaining, some people understood, some people very mad, not understood. Seems that we're doing everything here. So that's the current situation. So research is work very well, start a project, start. So that this month, Dr. Core and the collaboration with other company doing the GLP start. So the back and forth, so finally, a concrete program coming to testing. So our education specialists that work for support project now slowly transfer to work for the disease and vector education center. So interesting, the last month, we accepted 2,484 people for the visit. So last I asked, every day going to there, look at what's the peak time, what's the some people talking to there, what's the interesting, what's their like, what's they don't like, how can we improvement different, how they heard this. 60-70% said, oh, I heard from my family, from my relative, from classmates, from a neighbor. Everybody, when they're beginning talking mosquito museum, mosquito education, I said, no, they're not interested. Nothing to learn, nothing to hear. But they come in here, they say, oh my gosh, totally different. Then mouse by mouse, very efficient, more than we Facebook with as unbelievable. Yeah, it's people that come here try to, oh, they really, so they spell it. That's a very good sign. Now the other thing is the school break. So we have some multiply coming. So you can see every day over 200 people, sometimes 300-400 people sometimes. It's very, very crowded. But it's have the peak time. So it's actually very happy. Thank you, Commissioner Tricia Baker was strong support one of the project there. And thank you all board support, former board, current board, strong support this project there. It's a very successful project there. So that's the reason the last couple of weeks, our deal with several candidates for Commissioner Becker position and for Commissioner Grisa position. So coming here, I made a special appointment here, show that. I know that coming here, one gentleman coming purpose, I against this. You waste the money. You have to convince me. My group sent me to here to listen you about the meeting, to figure out how you spend the money, when can you pay back you spend the money. I spent 3 hours educating him to finally he says, I go back to my group, conservative group, let them ask the investor come here. That's much worse. Very simple. He said, how you calculation? I said, number one, people life, you cannot use money. Well, purpose is save people life. If I can save 2, 3 that baby for Zika, that's one whole life, about $1.5, $2 million life. That can $5, $60 million we can serve. That's number one. Number two, we can attract lots of tourists. So that last year, we accept over 12,000 people. We calculate if 5,000 people from out of Xinjiang County, this year definitely much more. If only 5,000 people from outside come to here, everybody need a hotel, need a food, even they can need a food, need a restaurant, need a gasoline. So the tourist statistic, one tourist, you bring one tourist, they spend average $800. So we have 5,000 people from outside of Xinjiang County. 5,800 multiply 800, that's $40,000 per year. So 10 years, we have 4 million collection. So we can bring business to our Xinjiang County taxpayer. We tax the people, we feel comfortable. Only pay $16 per person per year for mosquito control, save life, doing that kind of stuff. Not only that, let's start education for college, Frog College, UF, entomology, environment, and Xinjiang, the River State College, and biology. They're more interested in coming, more and more. They have a very good future. We can develop our program. So I believe that's a very, very good. Then finally he said, you are good salesman. I said, no, I'm not good salesman. I just counted the number. So that's the calculation that he said I understood. Yeah, also the one candidate student the last week coming to take a tour. So the interested in Commissioner Beck's position. Other two, I gave the tour coming here special, make the educated interesting. So thank you very happy that more people interested in this position. That's a public service. That's $400 per month. Means nothing. You're all volunteers. Thank you really get into the community service. Thank you guys who serve very hard. Work spend lots of time to serve the public. So very, very appreciate support the program. That's the reason we have today here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Xu. Mrs. Hodges.
Thank you. I only have one item that I just wanted to let you know that I was working on, the auditor's contract. I want to thank Scott for his help and Dr. Xu in being the liaison, but I sent some changes to their engagement letter, so that'll be on your agenda for next month. But otherwise, have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.
The commissioner
Comments?
Commissioner comments?
Oh, commissioner comments, I'm sorry. I forget.
I just
don't
wanna
have
thank
anything
the
to say,
staff.
So I forget that.
That's all good. I just want to thank the staff for all their hard work.
Mr. Mazzei.
I want to thank Hawk and Meredith for coming out and putting on that wonderful presentation and informing all of us about what you guys do and how important that lobbying is, so we can continue to lead not only the industry, but the entire world in this industry, actually. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming out, everybody that came. I'd like to see more seats in here filled, but
Careful what you wish for, honey.
thank you guys.
Oh, I want to thank Mr. Hawk. I'm sorry, after I
Hawk.
Meredith, yeah, and our HR director. Thank you very much.
With that, the meeting is adjourned.
Commissioner Baker and said no. Commissioner Baker, okay.
Oh, Commissioner Becker, sorry. Did you have, you weren't out of sight, out of mind, honey.
Sorry, I always have to say something. Sorry. I just
Yes.
want to say that I'll be real quick. It's been the honor of my life to support, protect, defend the Constitution and the state of Missouri.
Thank you, Commissioner Becker.
Also, Commissioner Gina's 28th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Congratulations. Almost to 30. You're getting there. We'll say.